The views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff and management of WWDB-TV.
Welcome to SinCityBounty.com. You see, there's just the two of us today.
Just the two of us.
I love that song.
Me too.
We can make it if you try.
Just the two of us. Just because we can't sing doesn't mean we won't.
Oh, too funny. Okay, Toxi's missing because Toxi has a very important football game. Football game. That's Italian. That's not the... What's the Hispanic?
I don't know. We have to get Luis from the Geek Lounge back on
Luis
here so
from
he
the
can
Geek
do it.
Lounge.
He does the greatest soccer announcer ever.
Yes.
Speaking of Luis and the Geek Lounge, we have our 400th, I know it was a great segue. We have our 400th episode coming up in about 25 weeks, as long as we don't take another week off.
Yes, we do.
We are looking at the end of September. We are taking your suggestions for what to do for our 400th episode.
400!
Mind you, it must be Facebook appropriate, so nudie's not happening.
Johnny Fever from WWDBTV.com offered for us to do the live studio right here because there's plenty of room. For those of you who are not part of the Sin City Bounty Facebook group, I gave you a quick little tour in there. There's plenty of room in here for a live audience, but there's no drinks.
There's no alcohol, and I have put my foot down. We have had alcohol at every 100th episode party we've had so far, and we are having it again. So we need a place that serves alcohol that we don't have to pay extra for. So a bar, or I loved the German American Club.
I'm going to see what I can do. We may have to become members of the German American Club to be able to use their facilities, but it's not that
Irish.
expensive.
That can happen.
Yeah. They're very open. They have tons of people. I was a member for a while, and I'm half Thai, half Italian. So there you go. Let's see. So for the 400th episode live studio audience, hopefully we'll be able to do some giveaways as we've done in the past. I believe we have some t-shirts left, don't we?
Yeah.
Giveaways, alcohol.
Not free. We are not paying for your alcohol.
Right. But there will be a bar.
There will be a bar.
And let's see. What else?
If you are a Patreon subscriber at any level and you show up, you will get to come on air with us.
Ooh, that's a great incentive. Let me write that down so don't forget.
Don't forget. So Patreon subscribers at any level, even you little cheap ass, no, not cheap ass. We love you $1 subscribers. You pay for our Patreon.
Speaking of $1 subscribers, last week we were very excited because we have an old fan of the show named Chris who signed up for the $1 subscription a week before last. Mm-hmm. And we were so excited. I sent him an email and told him, yay, thank you so much, because at $1 you just get our undying love and thanks.
Gratitude.
He upped his game this week and made his Patreon pledge $3. So yes, so not only does he get another letter giving him love, and I think we should send him a selfie, a group selfie. And just because, I think we should do that with all our Patreons.
Downshot?
Until they become like too many to do that with.
No, because at that point we will just have the same picture that we just send to everyone.
That's a good idea. And we'll put Toxi in charge of that.
She's the better one of that.
And he'll also get listed on our website. We have a place on our website for all of those who support us because we love them. Of course, for those of you who don't know, $5 a month, $5 measly little dollars a month gets you into our super secret Facebook group.
One Starbucks. You just give up 1 cup of Starbucks a month.
Yeah.
And you can be a part of our super secret Facebook group.
That's right. John, who signed up, John, we love you. Thank you so much. I also sent him a letter thanking him. But I also, to add you to our super secret Facebook group, you have to be my friend. So please go check your email, John. You'll see the link to my personal Facebook, Alexia's personal Facebook. Friend me. I'm looking for you. I'm looking for your name out of the 99 plus that I haven't accepted. I'm looking for your name, and I will add you to the secret Facebook group once I've accepted your friendship.
Send her a messenger request. That way she can better do all
or
that.
If you have sent it, unsend it, because you can do that.
Yeah.
Go back and unsend it, and then wait like 2 minutes, and then send it again, and you're up at the top of the list.
At the top of the list. So for those of you who are not part of our super secret Facebook group, who try to interact with me on either one of the two Sierra pages, so there is a personal Sierra page and a fan page, and I ignore both of them. However, in the super secret Facebook group, I am much more active.
Yes.
So, because I get notifications for that, and those are the people I really like. I'm just kidding. I love all the fans. Especially you, John. Especially you.
We do. We love John a lot. So
Can I just say that I want to know if Gul Khan is related to Gul Dukat?
I love when Gul Khan
Every
comes
time I
in
see
to
him,
chat.
I want to be like, where's Cisco? Cisco, where are you?
One of my favorite Twitter follows right now, someone that I follow is Gul Dukat on Twitter.
He's the greatest.
Because all he does, John Sondo, I think is his name, he runs that account, and what he does is he takes Trump's quotes and replaces all the names with people from the Star Trek universe. And I love it. Like this whole Mueller investigation, it's Odo's investigation.
It is absolutely brilliant.
Brilliant.
Go follow Gul Dukat on Twitter, because if you aren't already a fucking Star Trek fan, if you don't already know what's happening in there, it doesn't matter, because it's still fucking brilliant.
And he takes them from everywhere. Reed from Enterprise is mentioned. From every Janeway from Voyager is mentioned. All of them. He takes from all of them. So I love it. Love it, love it, love it.
He is fucking fabulous.
And he also has a Patreon. You can support him, because not only does he do the real Gul Dukat, he also does Riker Googling, which I love. And it's just what Riker would plug into the Google search engine, which sometimes is fucking crazy. And I believe he does Picard tips, leadership tips or something like that, which I retweet often. So
I like Riker Googling. I'm waiting for Klingon porn to come across Riker Googling, because it'll be like...
It may have already.
Klingon male on male porn. Google.
I'm thinking about it right now, and
That'd be fucking hot.
that would be fucking awesome.
That'd be fucking hot as fuck. I'm telling you right now, two big, beefy... Oh, God.
They scream poetry at each other.
In Klingon. They scream Klingon poetry at each other in... My fucking nipples are hard right now thinking about two big... Oh, my God.
I'm just thinking about just two regular men together, and that makes me hot. Klingon men together would be...
I'm literally having a fucking hot flash thinking about male Klingon porn. Oh, my God. I am such a nerd.
What's the law? What's the law that
Rule
everything...
34.
Rule 34 is everything can be turned into porn. So I will bet there is Klingon male on Klingon male porn out there.
We happen to know someone who would know that, too.
Yes.
William, I'm calling your ass out.
William!
Please send me links for male on male Klingon porn. Where they scream Klingon operas and poetry at each other, because they're fucking beautiful. And I'm a nerd, and I would love that. I really want to learn Klingon, by the way.
All right, so let me make some notes. Anything you want to talk about?
The only couple of subjects I want to talk about, we need to talk about with Toxi here. So, spoiler alert, next week. Today is usually our Test Tube Tuesday, where we do a facial, on screen for you guys. But Toxi's not here, and she's our facial whore, so we're doing it next week.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about really, really awesome shit, like dude sharks. If you don't know what a dude shark is, you are totally going to learn what a dude shark is next week.
Yep.
So dude
Is that
sharks,
a term that is like getting popular in culture?
I have no idea. Toxi and I made it up in the middle of the night last night because neither one of us could sleep.
Oh.
And
We should copyright that. Dude Sharks TM.
copyrighted right now. You heard it right here. Trademarked. Cincinnati Bounty owns Dude Shark. Don't be stealing my Dude Shark.
You can hashtag it all you want. Just
Actually,
give
you can
credit.
totally have my Dude Shark, but not Dude Shark, the terminology.
All right. So there's been a lot of things going on.
Toxi says, yeah, you better wait. Hi, Toxi.
Oh, let me turn that on so I can see the chat.
You fabulous little turd, you.
She is at a football game, watching the chat. Of course, I'm pretty sure she has it on low,
Or maybe has her headphones
or
in.
has her headphones in. Right.
Yeah, because otherwise, fuck you, soccer moms! Fuck you! Put it in her butt!
So big news today is there was a shooter at the YouTube campus in San Bruno, California. That started around 12:45. There was a party outside or something. It was a girl shooter.
Which is super rare.
But not after the samurai story from last week.
Listen, we like our shit up close and personal. We use knives, we use swords, we use nunchucks. Guns are just not really our thing.
And something like 30 shots were fired. 4 people went to the hospital, were injured. It was during some outside venue party. Nobody knows what motivation was. The shooter is dead. She shot herself. From what I got on the news. I haven't checked the news since you came to pick me up, which was 5:30. So I don't know if anything has transpired since then. I have a message for you fuckers out there. Don't mess with my fucking YouTube. Don't mess with our YouTube.
No, bitches.
We love the YouTubes.
I need my llama loves letters.
Right?
I need me some
If you
Cindy.
mess with the YouTube, we can't spend hours on there in the middle of the
Watching
night.
other people draw pretty in their books.
Right.
I can't watch Marcus Brownlee, who's a hot motherfucker, talk about science, tech. I can't watch sci-fi. Don't fuck with my YouTubes.
And Sin City Bounty is on fucking YouTube. We have a huge fan base on YouTube. Don't fuck with it, motherfuckers.
Don't fuck with our YouTube.
All right? Don't mess with our YouTubes.
Listen.
Or any of those other things. The Googles, the Facebooks, the Twitters. Don't mess with any of those.
Don't mess with them, otherwise you will meet a really efficient female shooter.
Stop it.
Just saying. You need someone who can shoot.
So they're calling... I saw a report that they're calling this shooting a domestic violence case. They think...
Why isn't it domestic terrorism? Why is it not the same thing that happened at Route 91? Like, of course, we're just calling that a lone wolf situation and not domestic terrorism, even though that's what it fucking was.
That's what the school shooting was in Parkland.
Anytime you decide to take your anger out on the public and terrorize the public using whatever... that's fucking domestic terrorism. I'm sorry. You run people over at a protest, domestic terrorism. You shoot people at a concert, domestic terrorism. You shoot people at a school, domestic terrorism. Why? Because you are terrorizing people domestically. Domestic terrorism.
I'm not going to get into the gun debate with this. I'm a Libra, so I've got, like, I don't know.
Well, she might be a Libra, but I'm a libertarian, so you know I'm super, super confused.
Right. Okay, so knowing all the stuff about the YouTube, knowing absolutely nothing about the YouTube shooter, right? Nothing. There's tons of conjecture that's going to be out there right now. I've already seen people who are cracking jokes on Twitter about she was mad because she didn't get all the likes that she wanted on her video, and that's why she shut it up. Stop it. And this leads me into the next thing I want to talk about. Oh, dear God.
Don't let a motherfucker blame it on her period, because I'm going to get real angry at some people.
Social consciousness has it stuck in their minds that that's what happens, though, is a woman gets on her period and she gets crazy. But that's because you bitches act crazy when you get on your period, and then let everybody know that you're on your period.
I'm just going to let you know, I act crazy when I'm not on my period. I'm actually crazier off than I am on, because when I'm on, I am super conscious to make sure that I am a mellow motherfucker. So if somebody says, maybe you're on your period, I don't have to punch him in the face.
That you like the throat.
I do like the throat.
Yeah.
Because they gasp, like, it's good.
Hey, William Phillips is on. William, we need you to track down some Klingon
gay porn
for us, please. Thank you.
Boy on boy. Although I will take girl on girl too, because you know I go both ways.
That's true. Don't they do biting? Don't they bite your face when they're having sex as well?
No. When they decided to mark you as your mate, they'll just come right up to you and just hot right on down. And it's hot. They'd be like, I like you. I'm doing that. I am doing that from now on. When I like a person, I'm just going to bite their face.
You going to sharpen your teeth too so it leaves marks?
No. I'm not a Ferengi.
One of my favorite scenes is when Nog on Deep Space Nine is getting ready to leave the academy. He's a Ferengi, so he has to sell all of his childhood things. And Worf walks into the yard sale thing that they're having, and he picks up a thing and he says, "What is this?" And I believe Jadzia Dax says it's a tooth sharpener. And so you see this big grin on Worf as he starts to sharpen his teeth. I'll take it.
Yeah, it's pretty
Love
awesome.
that scene.
Hey, you should be shushed.
Nerds.
Super nerds.
Total nerds.
Total.
Okay.
Total nerds.
So back to the YouTube thing and the shit that's coming out about the shooter and the YouTube itself and the event and all the lies and fake news. Hashtag fake news that's coming out. I was visiting my family this weekend. And my very right-wing friend...
Thank you, William.
My very right-wing friend says to me, "Did you hear about the social studies teacher who shot an active shooter and then got arrested for having a gun on campus?" And I said, "What? Really?"
Is this our same right-wing friend?
Or
is this a different right-wing friend?
It's family.
Oh,
And-
it's that right-wing friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I said, "What? How come we haven't heard about that?" He goes, "That's what I want to know. Why haven't we heard about this? The media is not reporting on this." I said, "Have you checked to see if the story was true?" And he says, "Well, no, I haven't had the time to do that." I'm like, "But you're willing to tell all of your friends about this story." I said, "All it takes is just some keywords. Social studies teacher shooting. That's all I typed into Google, and I got 40 million articles about a social studies teacher in Georgia who did not want people to come into the classroom while he was planning, so he locked the door. When the students came by, he yelled at them to go away. When the principal came to check on him and used his key to open the door, the guy slammed the door and locked it again. And I think this happened twice, and then shot out of a window."
So he didn't actually shoot an active shooter.
No.
The-
He was
Crazy.
having a meltdown.
He was having a meltdown.
He did not want any students in the classroom. He didn't want any other teachers in the classroom. He was alone in the classroom. And because they kept trying to open the door, he yelled at them and then shot out the window. He wasn't aiming at anyone. He just shot out the window like a warning shot. But that is the true story. But I got that he killed an active shooter and then got arrested for having a gun on campus.
So just an FYI, if you want to have a meltdown, do what I do, go to the bar and drink a lot of whiskey.
Without your gun.
Without your gun. I do not travel. I am licensed to concealed carry, but I do not because I am well aware.
There would be no drivers on the streets of Vegas
There-
if she were able.
There is not enough money in all the bail funds in all the world to get me out of jail because I would shoot all the motherfuckers. So I do not carry. I am protected, but I don't carry a projectile vomiting weapon on me.
Check your news. All it takes. It only took 4 words for me to type into Google to get those
Put it into
stories.
Google. And I know Google's got a lot of liberal ideas, but they do just let you search shit and you can find all the real and fake news you want.
You can go to places that you trust. I went to. How can USA Today get it wrong because they get all their stuff from the real news people, right? So I checked the USA Today story. I checked CBS, NBC, and ABC News and CNN. So, I mean, yeah, they could be liberal, but whatever.
Check if you really want to know if a news article is real or fake or not. Go straight to the source where most of these people get their information, and that is the Associated Press.
Yep,
That is
AP.
the most unbiased journalism you will find out there. So
Or
if you
Reuters.
Yeah.
Reuters is another one because all they do is it's like the old days where it's teletyped in. You see in the movies they're on the phone and this is happening here and this is happening here and some dude on the other end he goes and that's all he's doing. He's just typing the words that come out of his mouth and they goes right to print.
Yes. So AP and Reuters steer away from CNN and MSNBC and Fox News and USA Today. Steer away from all of them. Just go to the Associated Press website. Literally everything they're talking about on the other websites, they'll be talking about on the Associated Press site. And that is the most unbiased journalism you will find.
Do you know where one of my favorite places to get news is? Wall Street Journal. Because not only do they cover financial news, which I have no clue what they're talking about when they do,
I would have if I'd have become an accountant.
but they also carry regular news. And I'm going to trust the Wall Street Journal to vet the news that they print in their paper.
Because it directly affects, if they print an article, if Wall Street Journal prints an article, it could very well affect the entire Dow Jones and all that other shit. So they're usually pretty careful about what the fuck they post.
I would think so.
Because they would lose a shit ton of money too. So yeah, I'd be careful with it.
There's been, so I was searching for things to talk about today. And I found 5 stories to talk about. We're going through 2 of them, and it's only, 10 after? So we're going to have to find some stuff to fill the time. But Trump...
That's all you need to say. I saw the greatest meme ever. It was like, I feel like presidential kidnapping movies are kind of not a thing anymore, because somebody would run screaming into the room, they've got the president, and somebody would look up and go, oh, that's too bad, and then go back to typing, and I'm like, that's what would happen. I just realized I'm so pale in the YouTube video. Like, I'm going to need John to do something with this, because it just looks like I am neck from the top of my head to my boobs, basically. Just, I have no chin.
Turtlenecks?
I could. I just walk around like
I
this.
have 4 chins, so we kind of make up for it.
I got 8. Hey, in case you thought I was hot, not so much.
Your mic is too far over.
I'm sorry. I'm generously abusing myself.
So I'm a military brat. I don't know if you know that. I don't know if I've discussed that here. I grew up. My dad was in the Air Force. I have been lucky enough. One of those military brats, lucky enough to have traveled around the world. I was born in an exotic country on U.S. soil, according to my birth certificate, not according to my mom. I have lived in the Asian world, part of the world. I have lived in the United States for quite a while now. I have lived on the European continent. Field trips for me were trips to Venice, which was freaking awesome. I know. And I loved being a military brat. I love it even more now as I reminisce about it.
So I'll tell you, being poor is very much the same as being a military brat, because basically every time you can't make rent, you just move. So we moved a lot too. I lived in most of northern Texas, Oklahoma, Arizona, Nevada.
And a lot of those places are beautiful. So yeah.
Moving a lot. But you really had it good.
Well,
you lived in Italy, for God's
did.
sakes.
I lived in Italy for 5 years, and my formative years at that. Which
wasn't your first kiss in Italy? How romantic is that bullshit?
It was up against a concrete wall. Some dude stuck his tongue in my. Well, that was my first on the mouth French kiss. That's not my first French kiss.
On the cheek does not count.
On the cheek, some dude tongue in my cheek. Fucking crazy, but he was cute, and his name was Fabio. So,
my
either Fabio or Fabrizio. They were brothers. Loved them.
She got a little brother thing going on.
Well, I couldn't tell apart.
My first kiss was under a tree on the way to junior high school.
Really?
His name was John.
Was there boob showing?
No, I
Just kiss?
I did not have boobs yet.
How old were you?
It was probably 6th grade, so 12. Oh my God. No. My son is that age.
Oh!
I better go duct tape his ass to a chair. Like, no kissing of anything.
I was about the same age, 12, I think.
About 12.
Maybe 11 even. But
he
12.
wrote me poetry and drew me pictures. Like, oh, be still my little fucking heart.
Do you remember the very first time a potential mate, potential boyfriend, girlfriend gave you a gift?
Yes.
What was it?
So most recently was a book. The first gift I got was a book.
Oh, that's kind of sweet. Was it a good book?
It was a decent book, yeah.
I got, there was this adorable guy. He was a black kid, and his name was George. and he was the sweetest thing. And he gave me the most gaudy piece of jewelry ever. It was fake gold. It had like 50 million fake gemstones on it. It was pretty for when I was 11 or 12. And when I became like 17 or 18, I looked at this and I went, oh my God. And I still had it. I still have it to this day because it was my first gift ever.
Sweet.
So it was, to me, it was gorgeous at the time. I put it on. We held hands. There was no kissing. This was before the whole kissy, making out kind of thing. And we would have to walk like 10 blocks to go to the cafeteria for lunch from our school on base. And we held hands because we were kind of going steady.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's so PG on this show right now.
It was great. And then, well, I'll tell that story another day. But
Yeah. My sister, my youngest sister, had something very adorable like that happen too. They were in like kindergarten, and this kid had the biggest crush on my sister, and she thought he was just the bee's knees. Like, they were so adorable together. His mom took him out and bought her some expensive ass real woman's perfume. It was like Elizabeth Arden or some White Diamonds, or I don't know. It was something fucking crazy for my sister, who was a kindergartner. They are friends to this day, the two of them. And I know that she's joked about it before and he gave her like this little trinket box and this little, it was so fucking adorable.
Why are boys that young so romantic?
Because they have not been tainted by bitches and other dudes yet.
For those of you who are in our Facebook chat, tell us about your first gift.
Your first kiss.
First kiss, and we'll read it on the air. Anyway, so I was talking about being able to live overseas and things like that. Being a military brat, to me, was awesome. Being poor and moving all the time probably would have been awesome to me, too.
I loved it, honestly. I didn't give a shit. I'm, to this day, a fucking wanderlusty motherfucker.
But today's military brats are going to have posts along the southern border of the United States because their parents will be guarding the not wall.
The not wall.
Our president says that we're going to be, quote, we're going to be doing things militarily until we can have a wall and proper security. I guess he had just signed a bill that does not have the funds to fund the wall that he wants.
There are no funds to fund the wall that he wants because A, Mexico's not paying for it, and B, neither am I.
And one of the questions underneath from one of the readers of this article was, isn't it illegal to station military troops on domestic soil to guard? But then that's what the National Guard is, right? They would call out the National Guard
in the case of an emergency.
In the case of an emergency, is this an emergency? Are we expecting an influx of Hispanic lettuce pickers?
I guess.
To come over the wall, or the border, as it were?
Listen, in case you have never seen history, any of history, walls do not keep people out, and they do not keep people in. They don't stay up for very long. They don't really work particularly effectively. I mean, there's walls built all over the fucking place to protect people from other people. I mean, Hadrian's Wall was built to protect the Romans from the crazy-ass Scotsmen. Did that work? Not so much. The Chinese built the wall to protect themselves from the Mongols. Did that work?
Nope.
There was a fucking wall right down the middle of Berlin, Germany, to keep the crazy-ass communists away from, the crazy-ass Democrats or Republicans or whatever they were over there. Non-communists. And did that work? No. No, walls don't work. The only thing walls are good for is holding the roof up. And there's no roof to hold up over the United States of America. So fuck the wall. You know what? You know where I want my tax money? I will pay more tax. I hate paying as much as I do in taxes. I lose nearly a quarter of my income to taxes. But I would pay more if it meant that there would be universal health care. I'd be okay with that. Single payer health care. Do you know why? Because even though I might have to wait a couple more weeks to go see something or a couple more weeks to go do something, I will not have to go to 4 different doctors before I can take my son to the evaluation center that he needs to go to have certain things evaluated on him.
Speaking of, just everybody knows that you've been having back issues right now.
Yeah.
And you were just telling me that you have to go see this doctor, and your GP told you go see this other doctor because he can order the test that you need.
So here what happened. What happened was I went to Quick Care twice because in order to see my GP, it's a 1.5 month wait. So I go to Quick Care. I go into Quick Care. They take a look at me the first time. And they're like, oh, it's muscle fatigue. You're just, you've stressed something. Here's some steroids, here's some painkillers. If it's not better in a week, come back. It was not better in a week. I came back. And they were like, oh, well, maybe it's a pinched nerve. So here's some more steroids, an additional shot of steroids, an additional shot of painkillers, a different type of painkiller, and a referral for physical therapy because we probably need to move the pinched nerve. Fine. A week goes by. I have to wait 5 days before I can make the appointment, and then the appointment is still a week out from that point. And I'm in an extreme amount of pain, and I work at a very physically demanding job where I have to be able to move literally thousands of pounds of equipment every day. And so I went to a chiropractor who I am going to plug on this show, even though I don't have to. Her name is Dr. Nancy Fallon. She's in Las Vegas. She's amazeballs. Go see her. I'm in her office for about 5 minutes. She does 2 little things to me, and she's like, I think you have a herniated disc. And she's like, so there's not much I can do for you here. I can put you in traction. That might give you a little bit of relief for a couple of days. But there's not much I can do. You need to get an MRI. She's like, you haven't lost any strength in your hands yet. But the fact that you've had pain for 3 straight weeks means that it's worse than just a little bit of a herniated disc. It's like, but I can't order an MRI. I'm not a doctor in your network. She is a doctor, but she's not a doctor in my network. So she can't order an MRI. But the physical therapist, who is not a doctor, can order an MRI for imaging purposes that are necessary for my treatment with the physical therapist.
Which your GP could look at and be able to tell you other things that you need.
Yeah.
It's a shared thing because as long as it's part of your network. Right?
As long as they're in my network, everybody should be able to see my records. So I go to physical therapy, and then I'll get the MRI done after I get some physical therapy done. And then hopefully we'll have a diagnosis and they can be like, oh, yay, surgery or no surgery, whatever's got to happen. All I got to know is that I have lived with pain with the exception of like 3 days for a month now, and I'm quite the fuck over it. I missed a whole show because of the fucking pain.
Yeah.
But Jesus is stupid. My son has to be evaluated for a cognitive behavioral thing. This is what had to happen. The school had to recommend it. We had to go to the pediatrician, who sent us to a psychiatrist, who sent us back to the pediatrician, who then sent us to the psych eval, because that's what my insurance required. So it was school, then the therapist, then the pediatrician, to a psychiatrist, back to the pediatrician, finally to the evaluation center. That's what I had to go through with an HMO. And I can't afford a PPO because that would be nearly half of my salary. Yep. It's bullshit. So yes, I am willing to pay, even though I hate as much as I pay in my taxes, I will pay more if it means I can just go see whatever doctor I need whenever I need to.
William says, I am part of the VA healthcare system, and I have to say it is way better out here in Missouri than it was back in Las Vegas. I take my neighbor to the VA here in Las Vegas. They've gotten better, William, since you've left. And he gets most of his things taken care of, which is really cool now. So yeah. I love that they have that venue here. It's probably not as good as in Missouri, but it's getting better.
I'm working on getting my DD-214 changed so I can pick up some VA benefits.
William says, I don't remember my first kiss, but I do remember losing my virginity in the Philippines.
Dude, that means you lost your virginity after you joined the Navy.
Yeah. That's awesome.
That's super fucking awesome because I lost... No, maybe I'm not going to tell that story.
And I'm very sorry to say...
I love the Army. I'm not telling that story.
William is our resident Klingon expert, and he says that there is no such thing as gay Klingon porn.
Which is very sad.
No such thing. He has looked.
You know what? If I win the lottery, you remember those porn people we were talking about that would do personal porn for you? If I win the lottery, am ordering gay Klingon porn.
What's the rule again?
Rule 34.
Rule 34. Rule 34 says it's got to be out there. I will have to go and Google it.
I'm going to Google the fuck out of it.
See if I can find it.
Let me pull up my Pornhub account.
I was
Actually,
going to tell
lately
you.
it's all been
I was
manga
going to tell you a
hentai.
historical story about the wall, but I don't want to bore you. I'm not a professor.
This is not an educational show.
This is not an educational show. In fact, you should fact check everything we talk about.
Please do. Snopes, AP, Reuters.
Just simple Google.
Just fucking Google
And
it.
half the time when we're telling you about an event, we probably got half the information wrong anyway. So
Check the Facebook page. We probably got it mostly right there. Speaking of events, this summer is going to be crazy for us because not only do we have our 400th episode coming up in September, I think we've got 2 different bashes happening here in Vegas.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I have to go back and check my thing, but we are going to be crazy all over the place. I have a new mobile radio station set up that is freaking amazing.
And we'll probably be streaming those live via Facebook because we tried the YouTubes, and I don't know where those YouTube experts are doing it, but they can see the chat right on their screen.
I know where they're doing it.
And I get it like in the little, see, like on our Facebook feed, it's in there in the little corner, but I can't see that crap. That's why I have my phone, and I could not find the chat on the phone, so we'd probably be streaming it live via Facebook instead of YouTube, even though we love the YouTubes.
I may be streaming it live to both of them.
Speaking of tubes,
Oh, Lord, it's going to penises.
one of the things that I saw in my feed today, Sierra and I belong to this Facebook group, which has become our entire life.
Our entire life.
I don't even check into any of the other groups, even our secret favorite pagan group that we love. I don't check into there as much as I check into this other one. And somebody posted a tank full of swimming penises.
Peni.
They were, I'm going to tell you, they were the cutest little things swimming around in this fish tank.
No guy ever wants to hear that. It's so cute. It's the cutest little thing ever.
And they weren't so little. I mean, they were this size at least
that's
or
nice.
more, right? But they totally look like penises. And one of the guys was handling one, and it was squirting water out of its beak nose thing. It was adorable. Anyway, so I'm just watching this video as it plays, and it's got words on the screen. It's like a Now This video or something like that. And so it's got all these words on the screen and what they were called, and they are actually called penis fish. But they're not actually a fish. They are a marine spoon worm, and they're a delicacy. They are eaten.
I want to eat pecker fish. I want to put penis fish in my mouth.
Wait. So I Googled it because...
Are you telling me penis is edible?
So this is what I do. I Googled it, and it is a fish that I think it lives in like the mud flats of a bunch of countries. The Koreans, the Japanese, the Chinese, and Russians eat this fish. And they do cut it up to serve it so it doesn't look like penis when you eat it.
Doesn't matter.
And I'm going to tell you, I'm looking through all this research that I'm looking at now, and I started to cry. I felt bad that they were cutting up the little penis fish because they're so cute. We're wriggling around in the tank, and to see them splayed out on a plate to be eaten, it just hurt my heart.
Lorena Bobbitt works at that factory.
I'm telling you. Anyway,
Lorena Bobbitt's pecker fish. Get it now while it lasts.
Do yourself a favor and just type in penis fish into the Google search. Find a video if you can. And I thought they were so adorable. I wouldn't mind having a fish tank full.
You do realize that right after this show, some Google analyst is going to be like, why are so many people Googling penis fish? What the fuck is going on?
It's in Korea where it's eaten the most, I would think, because that's the only place that I found the name of the dish itself. It's gabul, Gaebul. I think that's what it's called, gabul.
I don't know. But if you live locally and you can find a place locally that serves penis fish, I will pay for you to go eat with me.
I will bet.
We will go have penis fish. Well, I will have penis fish. You can eat whatever faux crap you want to eat, but I'm having penis fish.
I will bet there is a seafood market here that is Asian oriented. It's mostly, it caters to the Asian population here in Las Vegas, which is rather extensive.
I have been in there to do research on a frozen yogurt shop they had in there, and I will tell you that I was the only white person in that whole place. So it is legit an Asian seafood market.
It is. Me and my mom go there all the time, and I don't remember seeing any. They have everything else in freshwater tanks or seawater tanks, because you can buy all of your fish live. All of your crabs, all of your urchins.
I get my crabs for free.
All of your octopus, all of your seafoods. You can buy them live, and either have the butcher kill them, or you can. I don't know. I don't know how it works.
Take them home, throw them in a pot of boiling water.
My mom always takes them home dead, because there was a story about frogs when she was a kid.
Right.
But we could always ask them. I had to ask my mom to ask them, but. Because they probably don't speak English, which is fine.
That's fine.
But I love that store.
Give me some peckerfish.
And that's over by the Boulevard Mall.
I know where that is.
Yeah.
I've been in there. I told you I've been in there.
Yeah,
they looked at me weird. Somebody asked me if I was lost. I'm like, no, I know where I am.
If you live here in Vegas, it's like a field trip. Take your kids. Dude, you'd love it.
They do have some, they have some little standalone eateries inside, and there's a little frozen yogurt icy shop in there. They have some of the most amazing flavors, and they're all those weird Asian flavors, so they're super good.
Super good. I love that store.
Super good. Me too.
I haven't been there in a while. We should go. Me and you together, and Toxi.
Yeah. Because we would get ignored if Toxi was in there.
They will not. I have tried this. They will not let you take photos or film in there, though. So it would have to be a totally personal experience that we would have to relate to you what it is. But if you live here in Vegas, go.
I'm going to get a set of spy cam glasses.
So talking about being on the YouTubes, I was watching all my subscriptions of the Boojoers, the bullet journal people that I love, Cindy and a bunch of the other ones.
That Rachel Lee girl, Rachel Lee. I love her.
Amanda Rachley.
That's it.
And in our favorite group, somebody asked who should I watch on the YouTubes that do this kind of stuff. So there were tons of suggestions, and I went and checked. I copied and pasted it, put it over on the side, and went and checked them all out. I think I subscribed to 2 others. But there was one, she had a video of why she hates Vegas.
Blasphemer.
It was.
Vegas is awesome.
Well, she did do a little video from her room, and I don't remember where her room was, but it overlooked air conditioning things.
Listen, that's going to happen. If you're not paying a lot of money for your room, you're going to be looking at a brick wall.
She was here for a business. It was a total business trip for her. She's not a gambler, which is cool because you don't have to gamble when you come here. But she was stuck in business meetings all day, so she didn't get to experience Vegas the way it should be experienced, I guess.
We should invite her to come back.
We should. Actually, we probably should. Maybe I'll
take
go
her to the
subscribe to her
studios.
anyway. But I did not subscribe to her because she made a video that says Vegas is not for me. She didn't say she hated it. She just said it's not for me. So, which it's not for everybody. I love it here because you can go down by the Boulevard Mall and go to a seafood Asian supermarket.
Dude, you can get everything here. It's crazy.
It's when we lived in California, one of the great highlights there was going to Chinatown.
Mm-hmm. Our Chinatown here is crazy.
It's great.
It's so amazing.
It is.
It's absolutely amazing here.
I think I've eaten in almost every restaurant in our Chinatown. The Korean barbecue is one of my favorites.
There's a Chinese-Japanese fusion place down there that's really good.
There's a place just off on the offshoot of it where we went and had tea once.
Yes.
And they had boba tea and boba coffee, and their boba coffee is to die for.
That's where I bought that really amazing teapot for Mr. Hogus.
Yes.
Who still hasn't said thank you.
Right.
Fucker. Been in town, 2 months now? Still hasn't said, hey, let's hang out? I mean, not that we want to be... Oh, he might be listening. Just kidding.
Isn't he off the Facebook again? So we have a friend. His name is Hogus. We love him dearly.
He is always in Facebook jail.
Yes. Or
Always.
he deletes it.
He just deletes it.
He deletes it, and then all of a sudden I'll get a friend request again.
And I'm like, is this a spam account? No, because no one would spam Hogus. If you knew him, you would understand.
Oh, I love those people. So...
Did we make it to your list?
I have one last one, and that is the jaywalker. So there is a story out of Asheville, North Carolina, where a man was jaywalking, and the police, you could hear the police in the car agitated at the fact that he jaywalked not once, not twice, but 4 times, even after they told him not to do it again. So much so that they beat him about the head, choked him till he was almost out of air, tasered his face, and then took him to jail.
So that might have been a little bit of an overreaction. Granted, if the police tell you not to do something, I don't care who you are or what situation you're in, you should probably not do that thing. Why? Because they have guns and they can legally shoot you. I know it doesn't seem fair, and you should be able to do whatever you want to do, but just suck it up, fucking buttercup. And if the police tell you don't jaywalk again, don't jaywalk where the fucking police can see you. At least go around the goddamn corner first.
So this guy...
In all honesty, you should not have been tased in the face for jaywalking. Maybe an ass kicking, but not a jaywalk.
So I watched the video of this, and again, I started crying watching this video. I felt so bad for this kid, even though, don't get me wrong, he was being a little bit of a smart ass. He was a black man talking to white officers, which he shouldn't have to.
He shouldn't have to worry about that.
He shouldn't have to worry about how he talks to them, but...
Let's be honest, you gotta worry, black friends. We are allies, and as much as we want you to be able to be an asshole to the white cops without getting shot, we all know that is not possible right now.
So I took some screenshots. This is from the story on BuzzFeed. You can go to BuzzFeed. You can watch the video for yourself. What's that warning thing? Trigger warning?
Trigger warning.
Trigger warning if you're going to go watch it. The guy, he was just leaving his job at Cracker Barrel, and he's trying to go home. This is a dude who has a job at Cracker Barrel, of all places, and is trying to get home, right? And I don't understand why he would be jaywalking 4 times unless he forgot where he lived or something, but maybe he was being a bit more of a smartass. And so he's trying to be nice to the police officers. He calls them sir at every turn, even when he's being a smartass. Just let me say, he always uses the phrase sir. And the cop says, this guy is still trying to punk me out. He wants to act like a punk, give him a ticket. And the younger cop says, I guess he was a trainee. He says, I either have 2 choices, either I can arrest you or I can give you a ticket. And the man says, he's not a kid, I'm sorry, the man says, do what you gotta do. I'm just trying to get home, but I think there are other things that you could be doing than harassing someone for walking. Right?
It's totally true, by the way.
So they go to arrest him. They tell him to put his arms... They go to arrest him, and they're going to grab him, and this kid is like, no, I don't want to be grabbed by cops, because he's seen the Rodney King video. And so he starts backing away because they want to grab him. It's not like... They don't tell him to put his hands on the car. They don't tell him to turn around and put his hands on his head. They start walking towards him. So he starts backing away, and then he starts to run, and they give chase. And the trainer cop, and I'm not even going to mention his name, punches him in the head upwards of 10 times, which he admitted to on this video. Oh, yeah, I'm not going to lie about that. I punched him. Tasered him, choked him. The kid is screaming. I keep saying kid. The guy is screaming, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Help, help. And then the cop, the main cop, he calls EMS. That's emergency medical service, right? He calls EMS because he knows he's done some damage to this guy. The guy has been fired. The cop has been fired. The trainee has been reassigned to another trainer. So at least he was fired. No civil court, they'll take care of the monies and everything, but no case of this guy not getting fired because of his actions on the job. So thank God for that.
But it still should never have happened.
No.
So to place blame where blame should be, there's blame all over the fucking place on all parties on this side. My dear black friends, please stop smarting off to the fucking white cops. I love you all. I love the white cops. I love the black friends, and you all need to chill the fuck out. All of you. B, don't jaywalk in front of cops. They hate people. They'll arrest you for jaywalking. C, don't be smart to cops. They hate you. They're going to arrest you. They'll probably beat you. Police officers, the dude really was just crossing the street. Like, seriously, what life was he endangering at that moment in time that required you to put that much time and effort into apprehending him? There was probably some lady getting her car carjacked 3 blocks away that you would have been driving past had you not been harassing this poor dude who just happened to be crossing the street where he's not supposed to. If he gets hit by a car and dies because he is jaywalking, that's his fault and nobody else's, and none of us should give a shit. Seriously. I feel the same way about seatbelts. I don't think there should be a seatbelt law. If you're not wearing your seatbelt and you get into a car accident and you die, literally the only person you've hurt is yourself. And you know what? Natural fucking selection.
So I was totally disgusted by this story. I had to go see it because I wanted to talk about it on the air. The last line that I have screenshotted is the officer talking to the suspect. I didn't start choking you until I punched you probably 10 times. Motherfucker.
Dear policeman,
Holy
chill
cow.
the fuck out. I know a couple of cops. You do not have to be that way.
No.
You do not have to be that way. I know police officers who can disarm a situation like this without punching and choking people. And they are smaller than you.
When you watch the video, you're going to be able to tell that the cops didn't like being dissed by some punk. It was seething off of them that this guy was just flagrantly ignoring their warning to not jaywalk.
I think more cops need to smoke more pot.
Right? You just need to calm the fuck down. You know what? There's nobody around. It's 11 o'clock at night. There's nobody on the road. If he wants to fucking jaywalk, let him jaywalk. Let's go solve the carjacking that's happening around the corner. Come on!
For fuck's sake, guys.
He wants to punk me, so write him a ticket.
Let him jaywalk. Let him get hit by a car. You should not care if he wants to die. You should not care if he does not want to wear his seatbelt. You should not care if he wants to jaywalk. You should not give a shit if he is not hurting anyone else but himself. It's not your job to protect people from themselves. It is your job to protect people from other people. Oof. Anyway.
Vendetta says, I tell the kids I mentor that they have to learn how to de-escalate situations, which is true. And I think this guy, I mean, I don't want to say it because I don't want you to go watch it, but you have to watch it. The guy, he even apologized at one point. I'm sorry, you're right. You can hear him distinctly say, I'm sorry, you're right. It's not hard to just walk over to the crosswalk. And then the main cop says something about being a punk, and the guy says, I just don't see why you have to keep harassing me for walking. Which sounds like I probably relate to him because that's something I would say.
You know what? I learned my lesson the second time I got arrested. Just keep your fucking mouth shut.
She posted one of those meme questions, 3 things that happened to her. Which one would you believe? The first one was, I just got arrested. Number 2 is, I'm pregnant, and I don't remember what number 3 was.
I'm getting married.
I'm getting married. And every single person who commented on it was, number 1, your ass got arrested. And I know this because she has been arrested several times.
Several times.
Once in your pajamas, correct?
Yes, I forgot about that. I forgot. I was reporting a man who threatened to blow my house up.
Yes.
Who had a gun, and they arrested me.
She's sitting on the sidewalk waiting for the cops to take the statement or whatever.
No, I was in the police station filling out a report. This man that we know he has a gun. He's threatened to come to the house. He's threatened to kill all of us. We were filling out a police report. And I went outside to have a cigarette. And because I smoked at the time. I think I smoked at the time. Yeah, I smoked at the time. Went outside to have a cigarette. And the policeman came outside and arrested me having a cigarette in my pajamas.
In her pajamas.
While I'm trying to keep my family safe.
So this bitch knows about going to jail. Just saying.
Sure do. I would just like to say, while I may have been arrested 3 times, I have never been booked into jail. I've either been bailed out or they have just decided I wasn't worth the fucking hassle and let me go. But yeah, I've been arrested 3 times.
I remember one day, it might have been the same day, but we had been trying to get a hold of her.
No,
and
that was a different time.
That was a different time. So everybody is phone tagging everyone else. Have you heard from her? Have you heard from her? And the last time I talked to her was this. Well, where do you think she is? She's not answering her phone. She's not answering her text. Where do you think she's is? And jokingly, I said, she's probably in jail. She probably got arrested. And I think you had gotten pulled over for warrants that you didn't actually have.
Yes.
Yes.
That's happened. I've been arrested twice for warrants that weren't actually mine. Because of a court clerk error twice. So it's fun. It's super fun. It's ridiculously fun. It's super fun, especially when the police officers are trying to get really antsy with you and they're like, why did you lie to me? And I'm like, well, I wouldn't. Well, no, I'm sorry, officer, but I don't think I did lie to you. I'm pretty sure I don't have any warrants out right now. You got 5 warrants out for you. Well,
why is it that they talk like that all the time? They talk to you like you need to, like they're a kindergarten teacher or something. But all the kindergarten teachers I know are super nice, so I can't even say that. Oh, they talk to you like the parent who just fucking digs at you all the fucking time.
So
next week we're going to be doing face masks with Toxi.
And we're going to be talking about dude sharks. Real quick, Vendetta says, I'm supposed to be a rapper, yet I have never been arrested. Sierra and I could have the podcast Snoop and Martha. That's true, and I'm totally Snoop.
Thanks for joining us here on Sin City Bounty. I'm Elexia.
And I'm Sierra.
And we'll see you next week.
If you're brave enough.
Later, bitches!